This is Galle. It's a beautiful place in Sri Lanka. I've been here so many times and I like to keep coming back. I came today just to have a good pizza and some nice food, to work on my blog and to do a little bit of reading. And I also came to do this vlog. I'm gonna show you a little bit around Galle. For the last couple of months, I was teaching Hatha Yoga and meditation in an Ayurveda resort called Plantation Villa, and I stayed there for 2 months. I really enjoyed teaching and sharing whatever I know with the guests, people from all around the world. I also had a really good daily routine, and I managed to do all the stuff that I really wanted to do. It's exactly what I was looking for, a place where I could focus on my teaching, where I could focus on my own practice, and where I could focus on the work that I needed to do. I was also really good at sticking with my daily pranayama practice every day, 1 hour of pranayama. And also, of course, I also do my regular Hatha Yoga practice and my daily meditation practice. But anyway, I really enjoy my routine. I really enjoy teaching, and I really enjoy doing my practice and working on my blog and studying. Studying Yoga Sutras was one of my goals for the last 2 months, especially for January, was to go through the whole first chapter and memorize all the sutras from the first chapter, which I did just till the last day. I managed to memorize the last ones. I actually learned them before, memorized them before, but I forgot them, so I needed to revise them, so it was not too difficult. And the other thing that was important for me was to update my blogs. And my goal was for January to publish 1 blog per week, or well, actually 4 per month. And I managed to do that, so that makes me really happy. I was every day I would wake up very enthusiastic about the things that I had to do, about following my daily routine. I knew exactly what I was gonna do, so I was very focused throughout the whole day and throughout the whole 2 months that I was there. But although I really enjoy my routine, I really enjoyed doing the stuff that I was doing, there were some other issues that I was dealing with. I was supposed to stay for 6 months, and at the end I stayed only for 2 months. I was not very satisfied with the way they were treating the yoga teachers. It didn't make me feel very comfortable. And one of the things was the accommodation, the room. I had a small room. I mean, the room is okay, the size of the room is fine, small room, no problem, simple room, basic stuff inside. But it's very dark and humid, very bad smell, no ventilation at all. And that's what I was supposed to stay for 6 months. And this is an Ayurveda resort which has really good facilities, so the guest rooms are really comfortable. So that was quite disappointing, and I complained about it, and there was not much improvement. Now, if that was the only thing I could have managed, but it was not the only difficulties that I was having. It was not the only inconvenience for me. The yoga teachers are not allowed in this place to have meals with the guests. The rule is because, to make sure that you can keep the boundaries between the teachers and the guests. And also they say it's because if the yoga teachers start eating with the guests, they become too demanding on the staff. I mean, it could be a valid reason for some people. I don't think it's a good enough reason. I think that it's important for a yoga teacher in a resort to spend time with the guests, to be with the guests. And the best time to spend with the guests and to connect with the guests is during meal times. Especially for me, because meal times is the only time that I am open to talk with everybody else, because the rest of the time I am, like I said, I'm very focused on my routine. I'm very focused on the things that I'm doing. But that was still not the only issue. Okay, so besides that, the yoga teachers, we had to eat at the kitchen in a not very comfortable or nice place. But it's more about the situation where the dining room is just outside the kitchen. So we are normally just 2 yoga teachers, so we are sitting in this corner in a small table in the kitchen with stuff all around us. The fridge is just next to us, the staff are running in front of us, and just outside the door we can see the guests sitting in the dining room. So that's quite weird and uncomfortable. But even the plates, the special plates for the guests and special plates for the staff, which are not the nicest plates. But there were many other little things like this, in the way that they were treating the yoga teacher. We would get towels that looked like more like mops than towels, and not because they didn't have towels, but because they have plenty of good towels there. But it's more about, this is what the yoga teachers deserve, a simple towel. It's the same with the bed sheets. They have really good bed sheets, of course, for the guests, but the bed sheets for the teachers' rooms, they are very simple and full of oil stains. And countless of little things like this, Also, meal times when you go get your food, the priority is always for the guests, which is, of course, that's all right. No? We are serving. Also the yoga teachers were serving the guests. That's perfectly all right. But if there is this constant treatment of the yoga teachers, like when you want to get some meal and they say, or some particular food, and they say, oh no, this is for the guests. Especially soup in the evenings. They will never offer me soup in the evenings. And sometimes when I go get my soup, they'll say, oh no, guest, because there is not enough soup. So that will happen every day in different situations. Christmas time was not the best Christmas, I would say. Alana, the other yoga teacher, asked the manager, where are we gonna eat? Are we gonna sit with the guests? Because they were arranging a nice dining table in the garden where everybody was gonna sit together. And he said, no, there's no space for us. So we're supposed to eat the Christmas dinner. We're gonna eat in the kitchen, just the two of us, while all the guests were sitting outside. You can imagine what happened next. When the dinner started, the guests started calling us, so we would join them for dinner. And that was very awkward because we didn't know what to do. There's this rule that we shouldn't be eating with the guests. And we were standing in the gate of the garden, looking at the guests and looking at the space because we didn't know what to do because there was no space where to sit. There were other situations like, for instance, the payment to the yoga teachers. We got paid for December, we got paid on the 4th of January, 4 days after the end of the month, and that's just because we asked for it. The other yoga teacher for the previous month, she got paid about the 15th of the month, and because she asked for it. So knowing this before I left, I sent a message to the manager reminding her that I was going to leave on the 1st of February, that I would like to get paid on the 31st. 5 days before, I told the manager who lived there, I told him, please make sure that I get paid on the 1st. And every day I reminded him, and he was like, yes, I called the office, no problem, you're gonna get paid on the 31st. And then the 31st arrived and I didn't get paid. And then I said, hey, what happened? I didn't get paid. And then he said like, oh, it's holiday today, but you get paid tomorrow morning. And the next day in the morning, of course, I didn't get paid, and I kept complaining, and during the whole day, I didn't get paid. And today, 2nd of February, I sent another mail to the owner of the resort. She apologized, and she said that she forgot, she has some issues with the application to make the payment, and she made the payment today. So for me, this is completely unacceptable, that we, the yoga teachers, have to remind the managers or the owners of the place to pay us. So for all these reasons, this is why I left, and this is why I wouldn't recommend any other yoga teacher to go there and teach, unless the situation changes, unless you get proper accommodation, unless you get treated the way that you deserve to be treated. By the way, this is nothing against the staff. The staff are wonderful, they are super friendly, they're super nice, they're very kind, they're very helpful, and they work really hard. They work really non-stop all day long. They treat us not in the way that we deserve to be treated, but it's not their fault. It is the culture of the company, of the business, it's the culture of the organization, and it's the training that they have received. That is the duty and the responsibility of the owner of the resort. It's not the staff. So I just want to make that clear, that I'm not talking bad about the staff. Although I didn't appreciate the way the staff were treating us, I know that it's not their fault. This is what they know, and this is what they've learned how to behave and how to treat the yoga teachers. That's why I left earlier. Instead of staying 6 months, I decided to stay 2 months only. And now that I'm out, I feel it was the best decision. Exactly what I needed to do. And now I have 1 month here in Sri Lanka until I go back to Cambodia. I'm gonna go back to Angkor Sen. I contacted them, when I was working at Plantation Villa. I contacted them and said, hey, do you want me to come back? He said, yes, come back in March. I said, yes, perfect. So I'm going back for 3 more months, from March till May. And if you want to know more about these stories, I'm gonna write it on my blog as well, so you can find the links below. And thanks for watching. Cheers.